The Anambra State government has officially passed a groundbreaking law to formalize the traditional Igbo apprenticeship system, popularly known as Igba Boi. The newly passed law by the Anambra State government formalizes the traditional Igbo apprenticeship system into a structured and regulated program. Taking effect from September 10, 2025, the law mandates a minimum education requirement of junior secondary school 3, that's JSS 3, for all participants and sets the apprenticeship duration at 7 years. It also establishes a state apprenticeship commission to oversee registration, monitoring, and dispute resolution, aiming to ensure transparency, protect apprentices, and modernize the system for greater economic impact. Joining me now on the program to talk about this right here in the studio is Dr. Lawrence Ede, Ph.D. Finance and Public Sector Economics. He is also a lecturer at Enugu State Polytechnic, Iwolo, and also serves as the program director at Skillnet Nigeria. You're welcome on the program.
Thank you very much for having me once again.
How are you doing today?
I'm good.
So good to have you here.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's just go straight right into our topic for today, Igba Boi. What exactly is this scheme about?
Igba Boi is a business model that is being very much present in Igbo ethnic nationality. What the scheme stands for is a model by which an established enterprise goes to the village preferably and then picks up a younger person and then he trains him, he lives in his house, and then he gives him every other welfare required. And at the end of the year, he gives him a share of his business in terms of what we popularly call settlement. And then that Nwa Boi becomes his own oga. And then when he stands on his feet, he goes back to the same village, picks someone else. It could be the same village or elsewhere, but the truth is that he picks up someone else and then makes him what he was made. So that at the end of the day, Igba Boi becomes a base by which the Igbo was able to achieve a whole lot, financially, economically, and business-wise. We all know the scheme is aged long to have produced business empire and the likes of Innocent that we have today, in the likes of Ibeto, that we even Charis and so on. All of these great billionaires conglomerate today started from this business model. So it is a baseline. I mean, it is a structure upon which Igbo has been able to establish their financial base, which of course is now being practiced all over the place. Let me say this, that like I said before, of course, when I came to discuss about this program here on this platform, I said that Igba Boi, Igbo Apprenticeship System was recognized as the largest business incubator globally. Of course, the Harvard Business School, everybody was studying the scheme. How is it, and so on. So I am glad that we have been able to achieve some kind of a transformation and then trying to bring it back to where it is, so that people of this generation could leverage the model and then continue to create wealth as it used to be.
Yeah, before we talk about the bill that has now become a law in Anambra State, why, for a while now, we've seen, people do not really talk about Igba Boi as much as we used to. People do not really engage in it. You barely see young people do Nwa Boi, or would I say boy, for people they call their ogas. Why do you think young people are running away from the scheme?
Yes, like I said before, it's amazing that about a year ago or thereabout, I was in this platform, and then we discussed the reason behind the declining nature of people interest towards Igba Boi, and then we made some insight. We made some insight into that scheme, and then, of course, which borders on the reason why it appears not to be effective now. One of the reasons is that over a time, we discovered that people are no longer keeping to that gentleman agreement. Remember, it is a gentleman agreement because there is no formal enforcement of compliance, per se. And so at times you see some Nwa Boi who has served the master the first year, the second year, the third year. Towards the end of his settlement, then the boy, with the Oga will fabricate a story and so on. So over a time, you see that guy going back to square one. So, and because there is no formalization, there is no, you're on your own, the agreement is just personal, there is nothing much you can do. So there is erosion of trust. Some other times, you also see Nwa Boi trying to enrich himself while still serving the masters and so on and so forth. So there are issues of default on that gentleman agreement, either from the Nwa Boi or from the Oga. And so over a time, both the Ogas and the Nwa Boi, they become discouraged on that scheme, and nobody wants to get into it. So one of the biggest problems was that it was not formalized. The agreement, there is no legal framework guiding it. So anybody can do what he likes and perhaps gets away with it. So that is one of the reasons, one of the problems. Another problem is that the scheme fails to transform, accommodating the digital interest, accommodating the accreditation process, which of course will make somebody know that nobody is actually doing a favor to each other. The relationship is supposed to be symbiotic. It's supposed to be you benefit from me, I benefit from you, and so on. So, but the system was unable to transform itself, thereby accommodating some other issues that would have made it more sustainable and so on. And people feel it doesn't work again. And also, we also pointed out that there is no encouragement from the people and so on. And some of the activities that the Igbo apprentice system accommodates, some of the activities were mainly commerce and industry. And today we are moving into economic activities beyond buying and selling. And of course, which our fathers, the fathers of the founding fathers of Igbo apprentice system did not accommodate. So all of this creates what we may call a cold blood in the system, and then there is a need for the reform. And that is why this reformation seems to be apt. And then in this time around. Yeah,
so are you saying there should be an expansion in this scheme?
Yes. One of the things that should be done is what has already done is having a legal framework. Now, beyond the legal framework, there should be an operational structure, operational guideline, which I believe that the commission in charge for implementation of this law will take care of. And what are those things? There should be a database, of course, that of course it is accommodated in the law, that we register everybody, both the boy, the Nwa Boi, and the Oga. And beyond that, there should be training and retraining, both for the Ogas and the Nwa Boi, to accommodate other enterprises aside from buying and selling or rendering services, this transport service and so on and so forth. So there's an expansion, there's a need to expand the scope of operation so that to accommodate the trending sectors. For instance, the ICT and so on, even the agribusiness that is going on, there is, my thought has always been that if it could work on trade and commerce, it could also work if we put up a very robust operational guideline that will oversee some of those things. So it is not just expansion, it is about innovation, and it is about creating a system that will make it work. And of course, creating an incentive that will make it work. I've advocated, one of the things I think that the bill did not capture is an insurance scheme. I advocated that from the day go, the Oga should be able to contribute to a fund, trust fund, so that if something happened and then the Oga was unable to settle the Nwa Boi, anything can happen. The Oga can die, the business can collapse. Instead of sending that Nwa Boi home empty-handed, then he can bounce back to that insurance scheme and then make. So when we have that scheme already in place, it will motivate people. And beyond the insurance scheme also, I also expect that the commission should come up with post-training activities. They should be certified. When I complete 6 years, 7 years, as the case may be, as the law provides, as the maximum year, at the end of the day, the commission should be able to certify me as someone who has done this. And with that certification, it should be recognized and should be a base that I can assess credit to augment whatever my boss has given to me. So these are some of the things we could put in place. Once we do that, and then average young man knows that he is going to be trained, he is going to have a market share allocated to him, he's going to have capital to start up, there is an insurance to cover up, there is a certification which he possesses, which will guarantee his access to credit, not minding asking him to provide collateral, which of course he may not have the capacity to provide. These are things we will put up, and then it will motivate young people getting into the scheme and then bringing it back. And also, by the time we do wider consultation, we begin to integrate other components of entrepreneurship into it. There are the ICT tech enterprise can accommodate it. I have a model that I am working with 1 or 2 organizations on how to accommodate Igbo apprentice system in technology, in this and so on. So these are the things we need to do. Expansion. And when we do that, we will see that we will create more wealth, empower more people, and create more employment for our teeming youths.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Lawrence. Now, the law also says only children or only youths who have gone through JSS 3, like you must be a JSS 3 graduate, in quotes, to go into this scheme or go into the system. What do you think about that? And now it has set the duration of the Igba Boi to 7 years. What do you think about this? And what do you think motivated the government to, make this law?
Yes, the issue of qualification is for me, it's a good development, provided that there should be free and compulsory basic education. You understand? Because if education is free and compulsory, free in the sense that a child should have access to quality education, free and then compulsory, that makes him literate. That brings him to a point that he can read and write. That's all he needs to be able to do his bookkeeping, to be able to talk to customers, to be able to respond to the trend, look through his finance and so on, and then even go out there for bidding process and so on. So coming up with the point that the basics should be basic education certificate is good, but we must not just make it that kind of telling them this is what they do without providing the enabling environment. So our basic education must be free at all level, from primary 1 to JSS 3, and then should be compulsory, which means that everybody should have access to that. If education